Pity is the word. They want people to pity them because if people pity them, it's going to be an excuse for them not getting better at what they do. So they could just blame everything all on the trauma. A soldier, maybe a soldier from World War III, and I say, well, hey, God, I beg. God, I beg. World War II or World War I feel like a huge percentage of the time, we pray about things we are not supposed to pray about. So when it does not work, it now feels like prayer doesn't work. When in the real sense, you are not supposed to have prayed about that. So welcome everybody to the Say It As It Is podcast. And today we're going to be going through the unconventional route that I didn't plan for us to go through. So for today's episode, we won't have any guest. And given that it's a pilot episode, I think it's going to be necessary for me to take it on my own so that we could talk about an array of stuff. And yeah, I'm hoping that this pod is going to last for about, give or take, 10 minutes. So going on, there's an array of things that's been going on in the society that, pardon me, I'm looking at the sound wave to know if it is recording well. All right. Should I say sound wave or... So as I was going on, there are an array of things that have been going on in the society, and this Say It As It Is podcast is hoping to tackle a lot of that. And I don't really know. Talking about it alone is going to just be me airing my views on a lot of things, and most of the time my views could be biased. So I was hoping that maybe I'm going to have someone on set, but since today is the pilot episode, we went out to shoot the first episode and it didn't really go as planned. But from the second episode, we'll be having guests, and it's not going to be in a studio type setup. Remember, I said that it's not always going to be like this. It's always going to be more outside. Like we will be outside. You know what I'm saying? So there are an array of things to discuss, and one of them is going to be various trendy topics. You understand? I think I had some of that written down. Yeah. Okay. So it will just be me talking about it. Then going on, we could have other people come on and then talk about some of the things, and hopefully we get on with it to a point where we can enjoy ourselves and attain the type of audience we want to attain. But for now, it's just me, especially for today, it's just me giving the pilot episode. So one of the various topics we'll be hammering on is, are we more traumatized than we? No, are we more traumatized than? Okay, are we more traumatized than we claim to be? First of all, I like to understand the topic of trauma because it is one of those many buzzwords that this our set of young people throw around. It's one of those crazy buzzwords together with narcissism, phobic, just throwing phobic to anything. Maybe if you say, if a new set of people come to Calabar and they don't like afang soup, they'll say they're afangophobic. So it's one of those many buzzwords that we've learned to adopt in our day-to-day lives. What I would say is, we are not really traumatized for the way we throw the word around. Take for instance, 80% of the time, if you ask a young person currently between the ages of, I don't want to talk about the senior heads from about 30 upward. I'm going to say like the young heads, the young bloods between the ages of 17 to 25. They'll say stuff like, I'm traumatized. What was the trauma about? My parent told me not to go out between this time and this time. Simple shit. Like, it's stuff that you always ask yourself, like, really? Is that really, if you want to categorize trauma, if you want to really call, I was traumatized, is that really what you're going to call as trauma? Because people were going through real stuff, real things that actually affected them, and then you are going through something as little as that, minute as that, and you're like, I was traumatized. I've suffered a lot. People don't understand. I can't bear it. I have PTSD. I have ADHD. I have LGBTQ. Like, it's crazy because they throw around all these words, and the whole idea of, like, the whole reason why they are throwing around these words for pity is for pity. Will I say self-gratification? No, pity. Pity is the word. They want people to pity them because if people pity them, it's going to be an excuse for them not getting better at what they do. So they could just blame everything all on the trauma. And most of the time, these things they call trauma are not genuinely, like in the real sense of the word, trauma. They are not trauma. Yes, you could say so. Are you going to say you want to negate the little things people are going through because it doesn't really fulfill the idea of the bigger ones that other people go through? Yes, in every sense of it, yes, because a soldier, maybe a soldier from World War III, and I say, well, hey, God, I beg. World War II or World War I, when they came back and how they were traumatized, and you cannot categorize yourself in the same plane as them, because what you went through can't really be placed as trauma when you compare it to them. It's light work. You know what I'm saying? Am I negating your feelings? Am I saying that you didn't feel or what you're feeling is wrong? Not entirely, but in all elements of honesty, I don't think we are as traumatized as we make it look. Yes, we've gone through a lot of stuff that we shouldn't have gone through, but labeling it as trauma is a very thick line. There's a thin line between, no, I will not say thin line. There's a very fat, thick line between trauma and discipline. You were disciplined as a child. Yes, there were people that went through trauma, and if you hear a real traumatic story, you will know that that's trauma. Nobody will need to tell you, is that trauma or not? Is that this or is that this and that? Is that, you will know that for sure that that was trauma. This person went through, like, he was traumatized. But when you say just your parent disciplining you or life disciplining you in a sense, and then you label it as trauma, that's what I have issues with. You understand? And a lot of times, young people find themselves in this square. I'm a young person too. I understand these things, but I'm thankful to God that I've been able to, like, see it. I've related with older people that were able to open my eyes to a degree to understand that some of these things is not how we see them. And a lot of times it's difficult for young people to see past the stage where they are, because that's the stage that they are in, and that's the stage they can understand. So it's only to take the mighty grace of God. Like, this one is not special, mighty grace of God, for them to see outside of what they are doing. You understand? So are we as traumatized as we make it look? No, we are not. We are not in any, like, there is no, this generation is the most soft generation ever. Like, there's no level of, like, in the last how many years we've not really gone through war. Yes, there are some regions in the world that has gone through. When I say war, like, collectively as a world, we have not really experienced a lot of the things we have not really experienced a lot of the things that we, how do I even put it? For the kind of things that we're claiming to have affected us, we have not really experienced what can make it affect us, if that's the right way to put it. Yeah. So we're not really traumatized. We are just spoiled. And as a result, we started seeing a lot of damn things. And will it affect us? Will it not affect us? We don't know. But we are just hopeful that it doesn't get to a point where it rots us from thinking rightly to it. Like, already we are not even, some of us are not even thinking rightly again. We are thinking like we're thinking crazy. So my belief is that we just need God. We just need Jesus. Aside from that, we'll be in a huge mess. That's what I have to say. So, going on, all these simple things that leads to the next thing that I want to say. The next topic I want to address, like, does prayer still work, or we are pretending it does? Which kind of topic is this? Prayer for me, I believe 100%. I believe 100% prayer works. But what I usually have challenge with, I'm a Christian. So I grew up, okay, most of the time the challenges we usually face, some people in some homes as Christians, is that some of us were just born into it. We never really got to understand God for ourselves. So we're just born there. And like, for me, I understand God. I'm still learning to understand him. I'm still understanding the person of Jesus. I'm still understanding the concept of the Trinity. I'm still understanding the power of God in our life, and still using my faith to implement the understanding in my life. But one of the few things that I have challenge with concerning prayer is, I feel like a huge percentage of the time we pray about things we are not supposed to pray about. So when it does not work, it now feels like prayer doesn't work. When in the real sense, you're not supposed to have prayed about that. Like, though I'm still trying to understand it. Like, take for instance, people that have relationship issues. I don't think, like, maybe you are 25 and you're not supposed to be married, or something like that, you're dating and stuff like that. I'm still trying to understand the concept of that still. And then you now have issues with your relationship and you now take it to the Lord in prayer. You now take it to the Lord in prayer. So I'm still trying to balance that out. I'm still trying to balance that out. Like, you knew what you were getting yourself into. You saw the girl. She showed you through Freudian slips. She showed you through different varieties of her attitude that she was retarded. But you still went on with that. Now, Kasala bust. You are now, oh, you want to take it to the Lord in prayer. I want to pray to God about it. I don't think God is even going to answer that type of prayer. That's one of the prayers that I think, like, people that go through maybe relationship issues, like that are dating, that are not ready for marriage. Now, take for example, now something happened and then I praying to God that, God, oh, what should I do in this my relationship? You are 19 years old. Oh. You are 20. And what, God, what should I do in this my relationship? It's not working. LOL. You don't know where you are there. I don't think God answers this type of prayers. I don't even think he cares enough about this type of things. So, like, that type of prayer, and then maybe people that pray that, oh God, they are not working, and I pray, oh God, dash me money. Oh God, give me money. I feel like God doesn't say answer this type of prayers. And secondly, will I say God doesn't answer the type of prayers? There's a better way to put that. I did not word it correctly. I don't think God appreciates those type of prayers. Let me put it like that. And then, thirdly, those ones that pray, may God kill person. Like, God should, in his infinite glory, he should kill somebody. Like, God should kill. Our heavenly Father, may live in throne, come kill person for you. Like, are you thinking? Like, I don't think you are thinking. Because if you are thinking, you will not pray that kind of prayer. God is too big to kill somebody. I know they say, oh, in the Old Testament, he killed people. That was that time. Oh. I know he changed it not, but we are in the dispensation of Jesus Christ. So God know they come kill anybody. you have to face your challenge head on. He will not kill anybody for you. Rather, he wants them saved. Because if he kills somebody that's not saved, what is the whole point of sending his own child to come and die? You understand? So it is a disoriented loop. Like, we cannot connect the dots. You understand? So God still answers prayers. He answers a lot of prayers. But I think that there are some prayers that you don't need to pray because you would not talk to God at that point. You are talking to yourself. Because in the whole idea of prayer is communion with God. So if you are communing with him, sure, it will work. But if your prayer is not in any way communing with him, I don't think, and like, there's one heavy hill that I'm willing to die on, that some of these relationships that you are in, if you pray to God about it, God no go answer it, because I don't think he regards that type of, he doesn't even want you there in the first place. You get the point? So you get the point. So that's the whole idea of it. Don't waste your time trying to do that when you could just spend time doing the right thing. Maybe if it's your work, your school, all those things. Like, because every phase in your life, there is always a priority. So I don't think at the age of 19, 20, even if I'm a culprit, I don't think those are the type of things that you should feel yourself with at that phase. Sure, you could, but I'm not sure you can. So it's a tiny loop, and a lot of us have mescaphone in that loop. So it's even going to be hard for me I cannot even address the issue head on, because I'll be culprit too. So it's just understanding at the end of the day. There are things that I know you should pray about, and there are things that I feel like carrying it to God is disturbing him. You're annoying him at a point safe. So if you understand me, you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying not to see the wrong things. Understand? So the third topic I want to address on quickly is the narcissism culture. Like, as I was saying, this is one of those buzzwords that we've learned to throw around recently. Say, you are a narcissist. You are a narcissist. I don't even know the meaning of the word, because if you are annoying, you are a narcissist. Like, I think, let me quickly check the meaning of the word. Narcissism. Meaning of narcissism. According to According to Google, narcissism is excessive interest in or admiration of oneself and one's physical appearance. If this is the explanation, then when shorties or rather girls use this word and they throw it around, then they don't throw it around in the right context. Because now I'm seeing admiration of oneself and one's physical. It's not bad if you admire yourself or one's physical self. They say self-love. The concept of self-love is something I don't really like to touch on because no, if you're a Christian, that idea of self-love is not supposed to be there because as a Christian, you're supposed to die to yourself. You are supposed to live for God. So, okay, that's what I can see now that, okay, narcissism is wrong. But in the context of the world that we live in today, if you are relating with people, especially women, and they call you a narcissist, I think it's a good thing because it means that you cannot be used, you cannot be fooled. And once they just tell you are a narcissist, I don't like him, he's a narcissist. Clap hands for yourself. You are doing 1 million things right. Say you are a narcissist. I don't believe anybody is a narcissist. I just believe that you cannot use them. So the people that are examples of people that are narcissists, Adolf Hitler, Shalewa. So I think that's a thin line. That topic of narcissism is something I cannot really understand why people call people, like in the context of today's world, because I never really went through the meaning of the word. I only ever thought of it the way that they say it, like the way it has always been projected on the internet. They will tell you stuff like you're a narcissist because you know grief for them. So it's surprising that the word has this meaning. I don't really think I'm the one to hammer on this narcissism topic because I think that I might start mixing emotions with it. So it's a line that I'm not willing to touch because I don't really understand the concept of it. Or maybe when I have a guest on here, I'll be able to speak on that exclusively. But personally, it's not something that I I even understand. I don't even know. Like I'm blown away by the concept because I know the internet concept, but now I've seen the original concept and context of it. I feel like I never really understood it. So for me to speak on it, I think it's very wrong. So it has been a blast. I was planning for the first episode to be very short but insightful, and I'm hoping that it was as insightful as possible because at the end of the day, this is the idea of what we're doing, to be insightful and impactful. So I'll close with this. If you're a young person out there and you're finding it difficult balancing yourself with everything that you have to do in life, and maybe you're distraught, you're confused, you're imbalanced, you don't know what to do with life, you're writing yourself up in the process, just hold on, chill out. I don't like to say there's still time, but I believe there's still time. Don't beg it, don't force it. Just be calm, patient, collected, and look at the bigger picture. Put in the effort, put in the hard work, and with the grace of God backing you, yeah, you're sure going to make it. So it has been me, Jeffrey, your host on the Say It As It Is podcast. Just saying it as it is. Thank you. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.